Hello everyone, I am Robert. Welcome back. In this English lesson, we will practice and study food idioms. Now, food idioms are idioms that have food words inside or eating, drinking words inside. If you have studied English a long time, you might know that English has a lot of idioms, but not all idioms are useful today. Some are old style, old-fashioned, and we don't really say them. But in this video, we will study and practice food idioms that we still use today to communicate with people. And also, I will let you know, are these idioms good for friends and family only, or can we also use them in the workplace or at school? So, food idioms, let's go. Idiom number one is have a lot on my plate. I have a lot on my plate. Have a lot on my plate means you have a lot of things to do. Now, why do we use this idiom? Well, imagine you are eating dinner or you're eating lunch and you have a plate in front of you. And the plate has a lot of food on it, a lot of food. It will take you a long time to eat that food and you will be very busy, right? So we can say, I have a lot on my plate means I will be very busy doing something, or I have a lot to do. Here's one example. Hey, do you want to go out this Saturday night? No, I can't. I have a lot on my plate. I have a test to study for, and I need to go to a family dinner. Another example is, I'm so tired this month. I have a lot on my plate and haven't slept a lot. So very easily, a lot on my plate means I have so much to do. And you can use this idiom with your friends or family, but also you can use it at work or at school. And you might hear this idiom a lot. It is still very common. Food idiom number two, we will talk about eggs. Good egg or bad egg. Now, I don't really mean this kind of egg. You can say this egg is good or bad if you want to eat it. But good egg, bad egg, we're not talking about eggs. We're talking about people. A bad egg means a person who is not honest and you cannot trust. A bad person. A good egg is opposite. A good egg is a person you can trust, or an honest person, or a person you can rely on. So we can say, hey, he's a good egg. Or she's a good egg. Or no, that guy is a bad egg. Stay away from him. Here's an example. That person is a bad egg. He has cheated many people and has a bad reputation. We can also say, you are working with Julie. She's a good egg. Everyone likes her. Good egg, bad egg. We're not talking about real eggs. We're talking about people. Now, this idiom probably is not good for work or for school. This idiom is good when you're talking to your friends or when you're talking with your family. But if you are writing or talking to your boss, I would not use this idiom. Food idiom number three, easy as pie or a piece of cake. Again, we're not talking about pie or cake here. We like to eat those things, but it has nothing to do with that. Easy as pie or a piece of cake means something is easy. For example, you go and you take a test. You finish that test and your friend says to you, was that an easy test? You say, it was a piece of cake. That means you thought it was really easy. Or maybe you're playing a new video game with your friends and your friend said, hey, did you learn that game? You say, easy as pie. No problem. Again, it means it's easy. So here's an example. Hey, how was your test? It was a piece of cake. I did really well. Another example is, hey, were you able to organize that trip to Japan? Yes, easy as pie. Or you can say, oh yes, it was a piece of cake. I had no problem. A piece of cake, easy as pie, both mean easy. Now, these idioms do not use at work or do not use at school or do not use when you are writing. These idioms are better for your friends or your family when you're speaking. Also, easy as pie might be a little bit more old-fashioned, but you still might hear it. I use piece of cake much more than I use easy as pie, but both are good. The next idiom is 2 peas in a pod. So first, think about a pod, a green pod, and inside there are many peas. Well, these peas, they look the same, right? There's more than 2, but they look the same. Each pea looks the same, it's round, and it's green. So 2 peas in a pod means that 2 people are very similar or the same. They like to do the same things, they like to talk about the same things, or they spend a lot of time together. We can say, hey, they are 2 peas in a pod. Julie and Mary, they're always together. They are 2 peas in a pod. Here's an example. Mary and Melissa are always together. They play volleyball, dance, and are in the same classes. They are 2 peas in a pod. Another example. My mom and dad have been married for 50 years. They enjoy doing things together. They are 2 peas in a pod. So again, 2 peas in a pod mean that 2 people are very similar. They're the same. They spend a lot of time together. They do the same things. They listen to the same music. They read the same books. They talk about the same things. They have the same interests. 2 peas in a pod. And this idiom is good for family and friends, but not really good in a work situation or a school situation, or for writing as well. Now, the next 2 idioms use the word lunch. The first one is no free lunch. We're not talking about eating a lunch here. We're talking about working hard to get something. No free lunch means that you will not get something unless you work hard to get it. Nobody is going to give you something for free. No free lunch. You must do something to get something. You must work hard to get something back. If you want something, you will not get it for free. No free lunch. So lunch is kind of what you get back for doing something else. Now, we can use no free lunch when we're talking about work or when we're talking about school. We have to work hard to get something. So here's an example. I've worked 5 years at my job and spent many weekends at work. I am finally making a high salary. There is no free lunch. Another example, $20 to go see a movie, that's so expensive. Wow, there is no free lunch. So in example 1, the man is saying, hey, I've worked for so many years, I've worked on Saturday at this job, and finally I get a high salary, I get high pay. There is no free lunch. So he had to work hard to get that high salary. The boss didn't just give him a high salary in the beginning, he needed to work hard to get it. Also, to see a movie costs $20. It's expensive. You need to work hard to get that $20 to see a movie. Nobody just gives you the movie. The movie is not very inexpensive. You need to pay to go get it. So we say there is no free lunch for that either. So no free lunch means you got to work hard to get something back. And this idiom is good with friends and family, but not really in a professional setting. The second lunch idiom is eat someone's lunch. Again, we're not talking about really eating lunch here. Eat someone's lunch means to defeat or to beat somebody easily. And this idiom is good for games or competition or business. We eat somebody's lunch. So we might say like, oh, this person eats this person's lunch, or she eats Emily's lunch every day at work, or when these guys play tennis, Jim always eats John's lunch. That means he beats him easily. So here are some examples. Amazon is a huge company that sells so many products all over the world. They keep getting more and more customers. They are eating other companies' lunch. Another example, that football team works hard to teach their new players. They will be good for a long time. They are eating their competitors' lunch. So in the first example, we say Amazon in business is a big company, they are growing, they sell to many people, and they are doing better than other companies, much better. So they are eating the other company's lunch. With the football team, they are really, really good at training and teaching their new players, so they will be better for a long, long time, better than other teams. So we say this team is eating the other team's lunch. Eat someone's lunch, good for family and friends, but not really good in a professional environment. In a pickle. A pickle is a green cucumber that we've put inside a jar with vinegar and let it sit for a long time. We say the cucumber has pickled. And when we take it out and eat it, it's crunchy, it's a little sour, we call it a pickle. Now, in a pickle means you are in a situation that is a little bit difficult and you might have to think about or work hard to get out of. It's not a very dangerous situation, but it's a situation where it's not so easy for you to solve. We say you are in a pickle. And I think we use in a pickle here because the pickle is inside a jar and he cannot get out of the jar. So it's a very difficult situation for the pickle to get out. So we say, I'm in a pickle. And that's how we use it. We say, I am in a pickle, or he is in a pickle. Oh, she's in a bit of a pickle. Now, here's an example. I'm in a pickle. I've spent all my money this month and haven't any left to buy food. Another example. I'm in a pickle. I booked a vacation next week, but now my boss wants me to be here and work on a special project. What should I do? So in the first situation, that person doesn't have any money for the rest of the month to buy food. She spent all her money and now she's in a difficult situation. So she can say, I'm in a pickle. It's not a dangerous situation, it's not life-threatening, but it's something she needs to think about on how to solve. The second situation is about work. That person has booked a vacation for next week, but suddenly her boss wants her to work there on a special project. What should she do? What should she tell her boss? She's in a pickle. So again, in a pickle means that you are in a situation that you need to think about or work on to get out of, a difficult situation. In a pickle is good for friends and family, but not really good for a professional setting. The last one of this lesson is too many cooks in the kitchen. Think about a kitchen. If you are there and you are cooking dinner or cooking lunch, you have an idea on what you want to cook and how to cook it. But then imagine there's 3 other people in the kitchen with you wanting to cook that dinner or cook that lunch. Well, who will cook what? What should you cook? Whose ideas should you listen to? This can become a problem. So we say if we want to get something done and there are too many people working on it, we say, there are too many cooks in the kitchen, this thing might not become finished. That's because there are too many ideas or too many people have their own way of doing something and you can't all get together and decide what to do. So we say too many cooks in a kitchen. Now, this is good for business situations or working on a project or actually cooking in a kitchen. So let's look at an example. This business has too many owners. Everyone has their own idea, so no one can decide what to do. There are too many cooks in the kitchen. Another example. My school project group has 6 people. We can't decide how to do it. There are too many cooks in the kitchen. We may never finish. So in the first situation, it's a business situation. We have all these owners that want to run this business. But there's too many ideas, so nobody can decide how to do the business. Probably the business might fail because they don't know how to move forward. It's probably better to have just 2 owners or 1 owner to make all the decisions and to run the business. But no, there are too many cooks in the kitchen here and it might fail. The second example was a school project. There are too many people on the project, so no one can decide what to do, no one can decide how to do it. It would probably be better if there were just 2 or 3 people on this project and then it could get done easily. But no, we say there are too many cooks in the kitchen here and it may never get done. Too many cooks in the kitchen, good for family, good for friends, not really good for a professional environment. And those are my food idioms for this lesson. I hope they were helpful and I hope you learned something. Look out for another food idiom video that I'm planning to make in the future. Keep on studying, keep on working hard, and if you have any questions, feel free to write them down in the comments box and I'll get back to you. I'll see you next time. Hi everyone, I'm Robert. Remember to click on the subscribe button or the like button if my videos are helping you learn English. I'll see you next time.